So does this change anything? I mean, do you want my opinion? You're listening. Not a damn thing. How many times have I said 4 very important words? These 4 words. Winning is a virtue. What I'm about to say is in no means a contradiction or a compromise of a principle. And please keep in mind that I am concerned about one thing and one thing only at this point. So I don't care if Herschel Walker paid to abort endangered baby eagles. I want control of the Senate.
Dana Loesch there, giving conservative principles there a ride at least, or at least to see how much people will continue to follow the thing that we already knew. She does not care that Herschel Walker is an extreme hypocrite, calls himself a Christian loving man who would never kill a baby because he's got principles unlike those ungodly Democrats. No surprise either from the fact that she's saying this. Winning is a virtue. Has nothing to do with principles, has nothing to do with policies. It definitely has nothing to do with saving any babies at all. That whole line that they throw is bull. So let's let her continue with her line of principles that she has. Let's go.
If the Daily Beast story is true, you're telling me Walker used his money to reportedly pay some skank for an abortion, and Warnock wants to use all of our monies to pay a whole bunch of skanks for abortions. And yes, when they're used predominantly over 99% of birth control and it's my taxpayer dollars, you have invited me up in your business and I will use whatever descript I would like to. Thank you. So it doesn't change anything for me. I don't know if he did it or not. I don't even care.
She doesn't care. She doesn't know if he did it or not, even though he's basically said he's done it, because he said he's going to file a lawsuit against the Daily Beast, which was pulled back as well. And also, I'm not sure if we had that other part, but when he was also on one of the Fox News shows, he said everyone's made mistakes and I'm a redeemed man. Sounds like an admission after you said it's outright lie that they're saying about me. Either way it goes, the main point here is these folks have no principles, have absolutely no policy based off what they're saying. They're just trying to continue to convince their voters that they have any of this stuff, when in reality, it is about power and control, 100%. And by the way, how about the whole family values thing? How about the children that we're looking to bring in this world who, once they're here, maybe come up in a bad household. Maybe they get abused. Maybe they're upset at their father. Let's address that kid too, huh, Dana? Let's let her talk about Christian.
Apparently his son, the left, I've never followed his son. I'm not even gonna get into his name or nothing. I'm not gonna mention his name. I just wish that conservatives would stop racing towards every damn freak they see. They're so thirsty. Oh my gosh, they're an influencer on Instagram. I must have you do this. Oh, we gotta stop it. Just stop it. It's so stupid. Because then the stuff like this happens.
Why do we pay attention to those folks that are grifting for our side? She's wondering. Because now we have to pay attention to them when they finally hit their breaking point. And now we got to pay attention to them. So I never paid attention to them in the first place because she knew how disorganized and fragile this entire structure was, this lie that Herschel Walker continued to tell. There's a lot more. There's plenty of Republicans who've jumped on this as well. It's ongoing. But first, let's go with the Dana Loesch stuff, Waz. What are your thoughts, at least from her perspective, and what she's saying, which is the quiet parts out loud? It's like an overused phrase at this point. They're just saying it. It's not even quiet anymore.
Yeah, I think she's kind of proven the point that nobody actually cares about abortion for real, especially the people in the mainstream of the party, the establishment. Is kind of just red meat for a lot of their most fervent supporters. Like she said it, if abortion, like there are laws in certain states that say like you should be jailed for having abortion. You should be jailed for helping somebody obtain an abortion. You should be jailed for not snitching when you find out about an abortion, but yet she thinks this guy deserves to be a US senator, like essentially like criminality in the eyes of these folks who are, allegedly on her side doesn't matter because all that matters is power. Might makes right in this case. And You can't be surprised by any of this. Whenever you hear the justifications for abortion bans, it's always on some flimsy ground, because at the end of the day, one, taxpayers aren't paying for, abortions at some ridiculous rate. A lot of people can obtain these abortions through their own insurance, through their jobs. This isn't some welfare abortion program or whatever. And I love that she pretends that there's this fine-tooth comb that she likes to go through every single tax dollar spent. Because if that's the case, you just wouldn't spend that much time on abortions that are paid for by taxpayers. It just doesn't make any sense. But yeah, like Mike is right in this case. And like to be nakedly power hungry and have absolutely no grounding principles or morals, that we shouldn't be surprised by any of this. Like calling these people hypocrites, it's beating a dead horse.
Yeah, and here's the thing, as information continues to flow, more people have access to it. You have people that come forward and are exposing people like Herschel Walker. It's harder and harder for people to pull the wool over people's eyes. So these conservatives like this, it's once your argument is broken down, which is all a lie in the first place, all you have left is, damn right, I'm a hypocrite. You know what, F this whole thing. I am only looking for the power. They have to get honest sooner or later, because the lies are too blatant and are too easily debunked right in front of them. There's more, because Senator Rick Scott down in Florida, he's also looking to defend Herschel Walker. Not only Danilo, since we're talking about maybe just conservative pundits, how about also elected officials? Because those are principles too, right? Watch.
We have great candidates. Herschel's going to win, and they're starting to see Herschel's going to win, so they're going to throw everything under the sun at him. I talked to Herschel today. Herschel is a great candidate. He's focused on the right issues. The Democrat Warnock has to defend all of his bad votes in the Biden agenda. That's going to hurt Democrats all across the country. We're going to get the House, we're going to get the Senate, and we're going to start moving in a positive direction to get this economy going, make sure we have a great education system, keep this country safe. I believe that we're going to have a big win, and I'm excited that Herschel Walker will be one of my colleagues.
Again, it's only about winning. Where's the principles in that conversation? None whatsoever. There's more from Ronna McDaniel, who's the head of the RNC. Georgia could decide the Senate majority. Again, I want you guys to see the theme. From Loesch to Rick Scott to Herschel Walker to everyone else, it's about winning. It's nothing about those principles, quote unquote. Georgia could decide the Senate majority. So desperate Democrats and liberal media have turned to anonymous sources in character assassination. Sure, so it didn't happen. This is an attempt to distract from Warnock's record of failure, resulting in rising costs and out of control crime. She didn't even have the time to even get into the normal BS details. Which rising costs? What? Rising costs of what? Usually you go for the things you want to say, like bread, gasoline prices, right? That the Republican Party is 100% making sure stays that way. Continuing on, Ronna McDaniel, she says Herschel Walker will deliver a safer and more prosperous Georgia, and the RNC will continue to invest in the Senate race. The most generic non-statement I've ever heard. Here's one from former President Donald Trump, because he has to get in on it. He tweeted out or truthed out this stupid statement. Herschel Walker is being slandered and maligned by the fake news media and obviously the Democrats. Interestingly, I've heard many horrible things about his opponent. What? Raphael Warnock. Things that nobody should be talking about, so we don't. Stop on that statement. Things we should be talking about. Things that nobody should be talking about, so we don't. That's the most normal statement ever, right? If it's something we shouldn't be talking about, then nobody does. That's correct. Anyways, Herschel has properly denied the charges against him, and I have no doubt he is correct. He's properly denied them. They're trying to destroy a man who has true greatness. Yeah, back in the day when he's in football, whatever. Yes. Okay. So it goes on and on and on and on. It's a defense. They're getting all the cavalry together because they want to defend Herschel Walker so they can have more power. So people who vote for them understand everything else they say, everything else they say they believe in, every other thing that they say they want to protect you from and your babies is a lie.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head when you alluded to the RNC spokesperson saying that rising costs just generally. Didn't mention what was rising or why or how to fix it. It was just general stuff. And what you notice there is nobody is making a case for Herschel Walker, the man or the person. Not a single one of them can tell you, oh, these are his qualifications. This is why he would be great for the US Senate. This is what he's done in the past that would demonstrate why he would be a great leader in one of the most hallowed institutions, or used to be anyway, in the entire country's existence, right? Like nobody's making an affirmative case for Herschel Walker. It's just like we want to get the Democrats out of power. That's it. Which again, you shouldn't be surprised by that. But yeah, it's not exactly a ringing endorsement of Herschel Walker that we're seeing here.
Had they ever given any kind of actual endorsement of Herschel Walker, the man? Because every time someone says something about Herschel Walker, his character,
he played in the NFL.
He ran real fast.
By the way, it was disappointing, by the way. Like, they gave a boatload of picks to draft this guy for the rights to draft this dude. Like it was like a record, 7 draft picks, and he did not live up to the hype, my boy.
He's a football player. In fact, his campaign image has a football on it. It's kind of molded in. But he's trying to get from this football pass. He's now an aspiring politician. I can't wait for this debate. It's coming up. I think it's the 17th. Him and Warnock, the one that apparently everyone's been dodging.